273 days left in the year. Good morning. MB guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app. Using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's B. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
You don't mind starting the show with a little Stevie Nicks, do you?
I do not.
You're a big fan of Stevie. Do you have a favorite Stevie Nicks song or Fleetwood Mac song?
I don't know. Probably, I don't know. Gypsy, it's really hard.
You like Rhiannon too, though.
I do, but
you
it's not in the top three.
It's not Rhiannon, is it? Okay.
No.
Do you like Stevie better by herself, or you like her with Fleetwood Mac?
It's also hard.
I like the package deal because you get
I do
Christine
too.
McVie too.
Like,
And Christine McVie is good. The whole group is good.
I
So
don't know. Yeah.
anyway, so just stand back, Rhiannon. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley. And the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I've kind of lost track of what the Cougar Sports broadcast schedule is for this week. I'm sure if there's anything planned, it's subject to change. Did you have anything on the books already?
Supposed to be tomorrow.
Unlikely, isn't it?
I mean, if I were a betting man, I would say no, that we are probably not going to be with the softball team tomorrow night as they take on Warren East.
Okay. Now, did I hear it correct? Did they run Rural Central last night?
Yes, they beat Warren Central last night 14-0. I know Layla Lacefield, she went 4 for 4. First inning home run too, which
Wow.
that's a way to get it started. But I have been meaning to tell you that Coach Rack is a big fan of the shows. Appreciate him for listening usually, but you two have a nice connection of both being Yankee fans.
Oh,
so if
thank
you
you.
want,
Okay,
if
here
you
we
want,
go.
there you go.
Now, the Yankees did give up 5 runs in the top of the 8th yesterday and blew a game that I thought they had put away yesterday. But they
Did they at
not.
least score?
When they went up 4-2, I decided I could go do something else, and then I came back later. I went, wait a minute, what happened? They gave up. They tried to come up with a run in the bottom of the ninth to pull it to 7-5, but lost 7-5 last night. So now they have a blemish on their record. They're not going undefeated after all, as we thought that they might. You didn't think they were going undefeated, did you?
Was that asking me or her?
Just in general, you didn't think they were. On Coach Rack, did you all settle in on a segment name?
We went with the Rack Report.
The Rack Report.
Yeah, we
Simple, straightforward, self-explanatory. Don't mess with it when it's
the
good.
Nutty Professor. He sent in his Rack It Up.
Oh, rack it up. Yeah.
So we had a little vote between our crew and some people that we know around, and it ended up being to settle it. Jeff Rack was the deciding vote, and he went with the Rack Report. So I said,
The Rack Report. I mean, again, it rolls off the tongue really well. When something is just presented there to you and it's just obvious, just go with it.
And I hope we can have a Rack
Report
Report tomorrow night, and that means that we haven't gotten any of the storms.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's going to be hard. When they tell you you might be getting 10 inches of rain between Thursday
I
and
just think they
Sunday,
should play in a boat.
That wouldn't harm. I mean, speaking of the Nutty Professor and I, we've played plenty of swimming pool baseball in our time. I mean, you would just run and jump off the diving board, and then you had special rules. You had to keep it in the pool, like because if you skipped it out of the pool, that was an out. You had to keep it in. Then you would jump over to the ladder. Ladder was first base. The steps on the far end, second base. The filter, where you could occasionally interact with a frog or maybe even a snake, was over on the third base side, and then back underneath the diving board was home. So again, it can be done. I've seen it done. I've not only seen it done, I've participated in it. So share that with Coach Rack. Maybe we'll just turn it into a water sport.
Yeah, maybe it'd be a little more challenging for us to to broadcast probably.
I think it would sound funny though. It sound nice. It would sound good underwater.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I just don't know that I can hold. I don't even know that I can hold my breath that long.
we'll give you a combination between scuba and snooba. It will be fun. Today, speaking of the weather, today is first of several wave weather alert days. Going to see some partly sunny skies overhead as temperatures climb into the low 80s for highs. You've already seen some of that sunshine peeking through this morning. It will be short-lived in the long term. We'll see strong to severe storms tonight into tomorrow morning. Long term, we're going to see several back-to-back alert days mid to late week for wind, severe, and significant flooding threats. But we've already had a wet season, and potentially adding, if you're off to our west, down toward Paducah way, they're saying maybe 12 plus, perhaps 15 inches of rain over the duration. 10 inches of rain for us here locally, which would be a lot, most in Louisville for in a long period of time. But the forecast, 80% chance of rain today, a high of 84. Severe storms tonight, a low of 64. We'll see heavy rain for tomorrow, a high of 67. I have not looked at the hourly recently, but I will tell you that when I looked at it 24 to 36 hours ago, it was pretty much the overnight hours, 3:30 to 4 a.m. or so. But again, need to revisit that and
You're right.
check into it. That's when the severe threat, by the way, is through about 5 a.m. Central Time.
And we've not in our area, but in the state, purple. As far as you can kind of see it on this, and that hasn't happened in 13 years in the state of Kentucky, on the 5 out of 5, and that was up by my neck of the woods, and I'll never forget that because it went about 30 miles south of us. But I still remember the meteorologist, the weather service, they put in a tornado emergency that day. Which when he said that, he's like, this never happens.
Not just a warning, huh?
Yeah, that was it's on the ground, buckle in kind of thing, and I think that was in maybe Grant County or Owen County or in that realm.
Spinal Tap would say, turn it up to 11. You tickled my brain there because I don't want to forget about it. Alea's point to ponder for today.
Oh.
Why are red buds purple? The red buds are blooming out. They're.
Oh, well, yeah. That's funny because she and I spent we spent a little bit of time yesterday afternoon trying to figure out how to propagate those.
I told her, I referred to them by name, and she said they're purple. And I'm like, oh, good point. A total of now 5 tornadoes touched down in Kentucky Sunday evening, including Breckinridge County. They were on the ground yesterday, and they did confirm that. So a total of 5 was the number for Sunday. I don't know if you've seen over the last in the national news cycle, Cory Booker gave this big marathon Senate speech on the floor, 25 hours and some change. 25 hours, 5 minutes later, he bested the record that was set 68 years ago by Strom Thurmond when he stood up and was, I don't know if it was a filibuster over the Civil Rights Act. So anyway, Cory Booker, and it was by the way, it was nonpartisan, or maybe I should say bipartisan. He said it wasn't really a Republican or Democratic thing, but there are some things we need to focus on in our country. So that's getting some publicity.
So when are you going to do a 25 and a half hour long show then?
We did some thons back in the day. We did some. We did in the mid '90s. We did some thons where we were doing kind of around the clock. I didn't participate in many of them, but I've seen them done. I don't think I've ever done 25 hours, but we've done some long stretches.
You did a ice-a-thon.
Yeah.
The ice storm-a-thon.
Oh, yeah, we did the ice storm-a-thon. That was kind of an around the clock. At least it wasn't a continuous thing,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
it was elongated. If you're the parent of a 15-year-old who've been saying, win, well, today, beginning today, starting at 7 o'clock Central Time today, 15-year-olds can visit the Kentucky State Police website to search for times and locations to apply for a driver's permit and take the written test. Due to high demand and location availability, appointments are limited. Again, they've got the normal people that they were trying to get to, and now they got a big surge of 15-year-olds who want their permit. So just go to the KSP website, and you'll find all the information. pertaining to House Bill 15, which was signed into law last week. Early.
Thoughts and prayers are with the parents of these kiddos.
They've had a few months. They've known that
I
this bill
know,
was
but
filed, and they've been able to see that it's likely coming, so it shouldn't be completely out of left field. But but now that they've been able to stall it until now, they've been like,
And
well, it's not
now-
yet, not yet, but now they can.
Yeah.
And what will be worse is when they're friends. I got my appointment for whenever
just
it was.
just
Like,
wait.
they
What
like us.
what do you have? 5 years? 6 years?
Well, we were talking about this morning how it's going to feel how will it feel different to be 9? She said, I don't know. And I said, well, I guess you won't know until you get there. And she said, yeah. I
so
guess,
you got okay. She's gonna. I couldn't remember whether she was gonna be 9 or 10.
yeah,
She will be
she's gonna
9.
be 9, but
Gosh, that's coming. That I mean, she's gonna be driving before you know it. That's coming real soon.
Hush,
we
Sam.
got to 9 quick. By the way,
Yes,
we got to
we
9
really
I
did.
remember when she was like 4 or 5. I guess.
We also got to have the talk this morning about, they've done a lot of work in the byway extension corridor in the last couple of weeks. And, they piled up some debris. You can see some things now on Rock Crusher Hill area that you haven't been able to see before because of just cleaning out some of the
She is
brush and
so
trees.
attentive to things.
Yeah, she is.
Observant.
And so I asked her, I said, do you know what they're doing here? And she said, no. And I said, they're building a new road that will go from over by, I said, do you know where AutoSmart is? She said, sure. And I was like, okay. So you'll be able to just go straight through at AutoSmart. And instead of having to turn, you'll be able to go and you'll come over to this spot. I said, when you get to the high school, you will come across the byway and you will come over to 62 to a roundabout and you will go out to the high school from here. And she thought, okay, well, that'll be different. That'll clear up a lot of congestion. If you've been out in the high school area over the last few months, you've seen big survey stakes and ribbons and different colors, and it looks like there's something major going on here. Well, there is something major going on. A ribbon cutting and groundbreaking was held. I guess it's technically a groundbreaking, not a ribbon cutting. The groundbreaking ceremony held on Monday for the renovation of the Grayson County Technology Center. The big $10 million check got handed out in the last 18 months or so. I guess
It's been two
this time
2 years.
last year,
2
wasn't
years
it?
ago.
It's been 2 years.
'Cause it
I remember
was-
talking with the super about it.
The day it happened was the day of the district tournament down in Brownsville, which something might have happened that night if you remember.
Yeah, that's right. That wasn't the biggest headline of the day.
No. I didn't think that the governor coming to Grayson County would get topped, but apparently it did.
Wow.
Yeah, it did, and even ended up
And like-
statewide news. I know it was on
Oh,
was
yeah.
on KSR.
Like
too.
I said, too, the governor was one of the first politicians that I had, and it was probably because it was his first event of the day that was early.
Yeah,
Because usually politicians, when they come, they always are running a few minutes behind because they're making multiple stops. But it was just wild to see him walk in 15 minutes early.
yeah. Well, so the governor that day was packing a $10 million check, and he wasn't alone. Obviously, Senator Meredith and Representative Heverin were helping to champion that project, but it's an expansion of the technology center. And if you've seen an artist rendering of it, wow, it looks great. I mean, it looks like a renovation set to embrace the word technology, whereas the current facade was set to embrace the word vocation. And I remember talking with Doug about it, and he said, $10 million doesn't go as far as you think it might. Well, by this rendering that I'm looking at, and knowing that it's, a 39,000 square foot expansion?
Wow.
Now, I know that's a lot of negative space because it's built for several uses, but that's still it's still a big expansion. It will increase from their current square footage by 39,000 feet, and that's why you're seeing all of the stakes that are coming out so far away along Schoolhouse Road because of where that's going to go. I fear, what's going to happen is it's going to make the Grayson County High School look old as dirt, because when you have this new modern building as the technology center, so they'll have to keep up with the Joneses, keeping up with themselves, basically. They've spent a lot of money on the high school recently, though. Obviously, the gym walls were leaning out, et cetera, so they've had to shore that up. So anyway, just constantly in flux and changing. So anyway, excited for that project and what it's going to do for the future of our students, and kind of leaning further into the technological age on the campus of Grayson County High School and Technology Center. I just think that's such a long way, you know.
Will your mom be able to get us in there early to get some like sneak peeks?
That's,
There's a good chance. I was already thinking that, Sam.
as far as I was concerned, there's a statue that's part of the $10 million. But I don't know.
She's, not to mention
She hit a
very-
key when she had to
she's
turn her
very
keys in. She hit her key under the mat. So or not a mat. She can get in there if she needs to.
Yes.
Governor Beshear signed a bill freeing $100 million for emergency relief. The General Assembly established the SAFE Act for those that are in the 16 counties that were most impacted. So that's happening. The state, including Beshear, is joining 24 other states. I think it's a total of 25 states that are suing the Trump administration that are for rescinding billions in health funding. I am for the elimination of fraud, waste, and abuse. And I am generally supportive of what DOJ is doing. I do think you can overcut, and I think they know that. They know that, correct your mistakes. You're trying to whittle out the fraud, the abuse, and the waste, and there's tremendous amount. And I think everybody can agree to that. You've seen, President Obama famously gave a speech about, getting some of this out, et cetera. But when the political shoe is on the other foot, you have a tendency to lean the other way. But no matter who is president and who's leading the administration, I think we can all agree that if we're going to spend tax dollars or we're going to pay tax dollars, we should get a good return and they should be invested wisely. But what is going to happen in this process is you're going to find areas where federal dollars are trickling down to local levels. And then all of a sudden you'll go, oh, so that's where that funding was coming from. And that when they make these cuts at the federal level, there are direct downstream impacts. Our health department would be one of them. They get federal grants to spend on things that are important for creating awareness and education, et cetera. And they are just one of many. So you're going to find several different areas. You think when they're talking about the CIA and the FBI and like a lot of these federal agencies, you think, well, that really doesn't impact us. Federal funds they run deep. They run to the state level, they run to the local level, and we're getting ready to find out. Big announcement yesterday for a graduating senior from Grayson County High School. Sam, the latest winner of the Doug Thompson Memorial Scholarship has been announced.
Grayson Chaffins. You might know him a little bit.
Little Grayson.
Do know him.
How's it make you feel that he's a senior now?
I've gotten used to it. It took a while. It was one of the. He's been a big kid, for the last 2 or 3 years, and so it's been like, okay, that's sort of old news. But just across the hallway, there is a picture of him riding a motorized, Jeep that is a is a trooper,
it's a
KSP car.
It's a KSP trooper version of a Barbie.
Yeah,
You
I've
know,
seen that
it's
picture.
like the ride on. So I still see him as that little kid in the front yard.
Well, I remember
of the building.
there was a day, probably I guess 5 or 6 years ago, where he came in with the sheriff when the sheriff was hosting with me one day, and just sat in the corner, and it was just very young, I guess 6th, 7th, 8th grade Grayson, and now look at him go. But
Still curious to know where the height came from.
Yeah.
It clearly did not come from his
Well,
dad,
I mean-
nor his smarts, nor his. He's an attractive young man. That clearly didn't come from Norman.
Well, that will give to her.
He's athletically inclined. That clearly didn't come from Norman. He's smart. That clearly didn't come from
Well,
Norman.
maybe his footwork came from
That probably.
Norman.
His-
All
his
that
agility,
ballet.
Yeah, that's probably
that's right. Yeah. Well, how did he get his footwork again?
From all of that
from
ballet.
all the ballet that
know.
that he did. Congratulations to Grayson, and best of
Yes.
luck to him. He's headed to. Is he going to play at Wesleyan?
Yes, he is committed to Kentucky Wesleyan. I know that there's going to be a signing day. I think here in a couple of weeks is when he will officially put that into writing. But yeah, he's Coach Jones. There aren't many. You can tell when you're talking to coaches the players that they really like, and then the players that they really like. And Grayson fits into the latter of that category.
Yeah. Is he playing baseball?
He is.
Yeah,
He
I
is.
thought he was.
He's
I saw
starting
his
center fielder
name
right
said-
now for the Cougar baseball team.
He hadn't played in a while, so he's back out there. Anyway, just by the way, just great family. We love them to death, and that's why we can have so much fun with them. But want nothing but success for all of them, and in particular for Grayson as he goes out. And best of luck down at Wesleyan. Reds lost yesterday. Yankees lost yesterday. I'm just going to move on. Okay, that's just how we do it. We got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Hang around. You're on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
Today, successful small businesses are lean, portable, and focused. If you're running your own business, you need to stay in tune to your customers, vendors, and employees. That doesn't leave much time for processing payroll and reporting, much less the overall performance of your business. The firm of Buckles, Travis, and Hart has a full offering of services for small businesses. Payroll processing, tax liability, unemployment, and financial reporting, just to name a few. Think of them like a built-in business manager, but they don't get sick and they don't ask for time off. Call or contact today to help get your business focused across the board. Buckles, Travis, and Hart, 270-259-5604, GraysonCPAs.com.
Breakfast comes in all shapes and sizes. I like mine bagged up, wrapped with love, and made to perfection. And no one does it better than McDonald's. With a 2 for $5 deal, I can grab 2 Mickey D's Classics. Whether it's the sausage McMuffin with egg, a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or the sausage gravy biscuit, there's a match just for me. And with most restaurants opening at 5 a.m. or earlier, bagging up your Mickey D's breakfast has never been better. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Every child deserves to feel safe, heard, and loved. Right now, there are children in our community facing tough times, and they need someone to stand by their side. That someone could be you.
My name is Misty, and I'm the 4-H Extension Agent from LaRue County, and I'm a proud CASA volunteer.
My name is Debbie Childress, and I'm the Executive Director of the Grayson County Alliance, and I'm a proud CASA volunteer.
My name is Kitty Smith. I'm a proud CASA volunteer from Meade County. You can be a CASA too.
It only takes a few hours a month to make a lasting impact. Your voice can help a child find hope and stability during the most difficult moments. Visit CASAHeartland.org or call us today to learn more. Help us build brighter futures, one child at a time.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start May 11th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Apple is turning its attention to the health industry. According to Bloomberg, the tech company is revitalizing its health app that includes a new AI doctor enabled to personalize care. It's working to advance health sensors and work through operational roadblocks that are related to monitoring glucose and blood oxygen levels. The company is also including a new food tracking features. The new features are expected to be released next year. And NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore says he's not looking to blame anyone for the situation that left him and fellow astronaut Sonny Williams stuck in space for 9 months. In an interview with Fox News, Wilmore said he'd rather concentrate on moving ahead.
I don't want to point fingers. I hope nobody wants to point fingers. We don't want to look back and say shame, shame, shame. We want to look forward and say, let's rectify what we've learned and let's make the future even more productive and better.
The 2 astronauts returned to Earth earlier this month after what was supposed to be a short test flight to the International Space Station was extended amid concerns about the safety of the Boeing Starliner. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is International Children's Book Day.
Yay.
You want to guess why it's International Children's Book Day?
International?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know. I'm not.
The anniversary of the birth of Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh, okay.
It's Peanut Butter and Jelly Day,
Get it?
also known as PB&J Day. It is National Walking Day. The American Heart Association reminds us about the health benefits of taking a walk. Wear your sneakers to work, and at some point today, take a 30-minute walk. We are also entering race season at Clarkson. Speaking of walking and running, Alea, they're running their qualifiers, heading into Derby Day. So the training has begun, and she's part of a running club too, which they're doing. But she was wearing the wrong shoes on Monday. She forgot, so she was handicapped just a little bit, but it served her well.
It did. Lesson learned.
It's like she lost a heat, so that made it good. Yesterday, I led off the show by sharing with you a word that explained that when you see something or someone so cute, it's a giggle. That's right. That is a group that's part of a grouping of 42 words that are being added to the Oxford English Dictionary and terms from South Africa, Ireland, and Southeast Asia in its quarterly update. And what it is they're untranslatable words. There's no other word for these to be translated into, so they're just adding these being the words.
Okay.
Alamak is from Malaysia, and it's an interjection expressing shock, dismay, or outrage.
Alamak?
Alamak.
I like it.
A-L-A-M-A-K.
I may try using that one.
From Ireland, Ludraman or Ludraman, L-U-D-R-A-M-A-N, is a lazy, unproductive, or stupid person.
Yeah. Well.
From South Africa, Gatvol, G-A-T-V-O-L. That's having had enough of a person or situation.
Ooh.
Oh, exasperated. That would be a synonym. Gatvol would be a synonym of exasperated. Mineral is a carbonated soft drink in Ireland.
Yeah. Mineral water. Yeah.
Mineral water is a soft drink?
Well, it's like sparkling water.
Okay, all right.
So, okay, has the bubble.
Mm.
In the,
Yes.
Yeah.
like Pellegrino?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I have some of those San Pellegrinos, those the flavored ones they do. Boy, those are good.
I don't like those.
You don't like them?
No.
You know, one of the reasons that here's where I got hooked. Via Napoli at Disney World at Epcot is the pizza place there at the Italian Pavilion, and they bring those out to you. There's like a refreshing, like a citrus one. And so that's what got me to try them. And like, ooh, those are good. Because typically you see that Pellegrino water on the table in the green bottle with the label, and it's just water. You go, I don't want that. But now you give me something that's got a little citrus in it or a little berry or something.
I
Then
will
it's good.
never forget. Anna was old enough, and the server came and asked, and Anna was always a water drinker. So it was just she and I. And so the waitress asked her, would she care for tap water, whatever, but sparkling water, right, was an option. And I just sat there with a straight face, right, giving her no indication of what to do at all. So she chose the sparkling water. Listen, when she tried it, that face, because it's not good,
No, it's not.
right? It's not good.
I do not like it.
But she was like, she felt big, but and it wasn't good.
Life's about learning lessons.
Bless it.
From the Philippines, they have a word called videoke. Is a variety of karaoke, but it's a local version of karaoke that uses a scoring system. So like American Idol, that's what we call it. Moggy is extremely irrational, out of touch with reality. You're moggy. You're being moggy.
Get it together.
In Ireland, to act the maggot is to behave foolishly. Sharp is a casual salutation in South Africa. Like, ¿qué pasa? What's happening? Sharp. Okay.
Never heard my cousins use that.
Never heard sharp sharp?
No.
From South Africa. So those are words that you can introduce. Again, one of the reasons that I like doing that is because it equips you with some words that you can use to describe people, and it's almost like spelling around little kids because they don't know what the words are. So if you say something, if you call them a gatvol or whatever, you go, oh, they must be paying me a compliment. If that's what you think. Here are 10 things that a dentist dad who's seen it all says he never lets his kids do. And that is brush their teeth immediately after getting sick. If you after you throw up, that's you want to immediately do that.
You're
But
not supposed to do
you
that.
are not supposed to do that. Vomiting exposes your teeth to stomach acid, which can be harmful, but brushing them while the stomach acid is present spreads it around so it covers an even greater area, so you're not supposed to do that. I don't know why for sure, but this dentist says go on trampolines, especially without netting. Guess you can mess up your grill if you hit something.
Yeah.
He also says jump in bounce houses with older kids. He
Oh,
says
yeah.
that it's
Catch
very
an elbow.
important. That, but also mismatched, because if you got a group of big kids and small kids in the same bounce house, then you've just got there's a physical advantage, right? And so when they bounce, then the little kids get bounced around and it's more dangerous.
The little
So you
kids
should
turn
put
into
them in-
torpedoes.
That's right. You should put them in weight classes.
Well, and they're excited. So their mouths are open, right? They get bumped pretty hard.
Right.
Mouth closes, tongue there or not. I mean, there's some serious business that
Plus,
can happen there.
I mean, I just defer you to the bounce house on 4 Christmases and putting something in your mouth. That can be very dangerous
It can be very dangerous
and gross.
and gross.
Chew on ice or pins.
Listen,
Not use a mouth guard while playing sports. I don't chew on pins, but ice is my thing. Not use a mouth guard while playing sports. Use their teeth as scissors to rip open packages.
I do not do that.
I may be guilty.
Yes,
of
you
that.
are guilty of that. The extent that I will do it is on the ketchup bottle, the little bitty tab
That you can't get a hold
that,
of otherwise.
that I can't get a hold of because of
'Cause
my
you-
nubby
yeah.
fingers. I can't get that. So
I'm the worst.
And what are you going to go get
probably.
tweezers to get that, or like needle nose, or so? But if it's something, if it's like plastic, you're trying to get a packaging open. It's like I would never do that. Let's see, what is the other one? Consume sugary drinks like soda or juice. This one surprised me. Eat gummy vitamins.
Because they probably have sugar
Taking
in them,
them
right?
in gummy form might not be the best choice for many. They are a desirable alternative to pills, but they can damage your teeth. Experts from Tufts University shared that the stickiness of gummy vitamins can pose a problem for both teeth and gums. Additionally, the amount of sugar in gummies makes them comparable to candy. They may be cute and come in fun flavors, but those gummies can have serious consequences.
So brush after?
I guess. Yeah, anything in gummy form is
Right.
easier to take. Drink from a sippy cup. And then this dentist dad says, eat goldfish or Annie's bunny crackers.
What's wrong with the goldfish?
That's what I would have said. Carbs can turn into sugars, and when paired with bacteria in the mouth, can cause cavities.
Okay, well,
So are
that
Cheez-Its
could've been
okay?
a laundry
That-
list.
it could've
Wells,
apply a
like
bunch
we
of
like we like the brand Wells, or the other brand that are Wells better than we like Goldfish.
Just because they're bigger.
I don't know what it is.
Whale
There's a-
trumps guppy.
and that's the thing. Both girls are they're the same way.
Okay.
I don't know, something better about them. We think.
And here are things that you thought would be fun as an adult that are actually just exhausting. To spare Sam's feelings, I'll not use the word that I wrote down on the cue sheet.
Good. Yeah, I don't like that word.
Yeah, because I wrote it down just because I would know what it was. When I sent Sam the cues, it just says 11 things, but we're not going to get to 11 things. Staying out late, that's fun for a while. But when you get old enough, you go, I don't want to stay out that late. Somebody says something's happening at like 9:30. It's like, it's the middle of the night.
I'm up in bed an hour and a half at that point.
Hosting dinner parties. You know how little kids love to host tea parties? Having a tea party. No, they're not nearly as fun as you think they are. Buying a house can be stressful.
I don't even think it can be. Isn't it guaranteed to be?
It almost has to be. Cooking meals.
Oh, yeah.
Owning a pet. Owning a pet can be fun, but it is completely different than what you think it is when
is.
you're a kid.
Well, because they really own
Because-
you.
That, and when you're a kid, you don't have the majority of the responsibility nor the financial burden when something comes along. So you think, well, you can just have all the pets. They say, I'll have one of these, and I'll have one of these, and I'll have one of
Well,
these.
and she wants this ridiculous amount of dogs. So I try to counter with, okay, but how much is a bag of dog food? And we go through this process, but I still can't get her to change her mind. But one of the things about, being a pet owner for us is anytime that we want to do something, it's like we talked about, what about the dog?
Yep. Yeah, if you've listened to Rick Burgess for a
Yeah.
long time, he coined the phrase, what about the dog? Your
What
whole
about
life
the
is,
dog?
what
Your
about
whole
the
life.
dog?
What
You
about the
want to
dog?
go somewhere? What about the dog? We were talking about going somewhere the other day, and we were down the rabbit hole, and you went, oh, wait, what about the dog?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah. What about the
What about the dog?
What about,
Just bring
what
her
about the
along.
dog?
You can't do that everywhere, Sam.
Remember the story last week about the woman and the dog and the carrier on the
yeah.
airplane? And we're like, airplanes are for people. We got to get to, unless you own the plane. We got to get to a break. Today's Did You Know is coming up here on In the Know.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-648-9174. 800-648-9174. That's 800-648-9174.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
Call 800-989-1647. 800-989-1647. That's 800-989-1647.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com. And get ready for the workday.
At Skechers, we put the S in comfort. Now, I know you're probably spelling comfort in your head and asking yourself, is that possible? Am I just a really bad speller? Look, I don't know your spelling aptitude, but Skechers most definitely put the S in comfort because Skechers is the comfort technology company and has developed fits and features that change everything you know about comfort, like hands-free Skechers slip-ins, the ultimate in comfort and convenience. It's footwear you just step into and they're on, with no bending down. Find Skechers at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Midway Pharmacy is your trusted local partner in health and wellness, offering free delivery so you never have to worry about picking up your medications. The friendly staff knows you by name and is always ready to assist you. Living and raising our families in the same community, they understand your needs. With a wide range of services and personalized care, Midway Pharmacy is here to make your life easier and healthier. Visit or call any countywide location today of Midway Pharmacy. Smith Overhead Door isn't just about opening and closing. We're about safety, security, and style for your home or business. As a Future Designs company, we're lifting expectations across Grayson and surrounding counties with top brands like CHI and Chamberlain.
Hey there, I'm Kevin Brooks with Smith Overhead Door. Whether it's a sturdy LiftMeister for your garage or a sleek Clopay door for your shop, we install and service with a commitment to reliability. Smith Overhead Door, we're opening up possibilities.
Secure your entrance at sohd.info.
As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been helping people live longer and more independent lives.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. Learn more at mda.org.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather. A wind advisory is in place today as we watch for gusts between 40 and 50 miles per hour. This will come out ahead of a line of strong, severe thunderstorms that will race into our region later on tonight into early tomorrow morning. Damaging winds, hail, and even tornadoes are possible as that line moves through. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Did you know the first bathroom stall is usually the cleanest
I am aware.
because it's the most skipped?
Mm-hmm.
People don't want it, so it's less likely to be used. So you can capitalize on that.
Unless you go into a men's restroom and then they're all pretty nasty.
Yeah, I still think, but on average, I still think the first one, because it gets picked less, just almost has to be.
Yeah, the second one's probably the worst.
Probably. That's probably the case. Hey, have you all seen Meghan Trainor recently? Been hearing that she has had a big transformation physically. She's no longer all about that bass. She has had a tremendous makeover.
She looks good.
And yeah, she does. She looks wonderful. And you could have never told me that Meghan Trainor looked like that, because I've known, like, she was all about that bass with no treble when she hit the scene. And that's what the song was about, is what she was leading into.
Yeah.
But she did say, she said, shout out to Monjaro. So it just shows you how the GLP-1s are changing lots of people, and let's hope that long term there's no problems with that, et cetera. But it's having and I'll just tell you, I just tell you from personal experience, it just changes. It changes what you spend money on. It changes. You buy far less food. It just has a completely. It just changes the landscape so much. Dolly Parton may be making some new jeans that Meghan Trainor would enjoy wearing. They're called Jolene's. It's
Clever.
a collaboration with Good American, and it will make, Dolly says, any butt look good.
Listen, I just don't think that's possible.
You don't think that's possible?
I do not.
The 79-year-old has teamed up with Khloe Kardashian and Emma Greed's denim brand to launch a limited edition lineup called Dolly's Jolene's. The collection features denim pieces adorned with shimmering rhinestones and other country glam details inspired by the musician's iconic style.
Shoo.
I had read where the Kardashians' shape is not currently the in trend. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I ran across that information.
Are you big up onto the Kardashians' fashion trends?
I do not. I'm surprised that I know that.
I was going to say, I was a little
but
bit.
I had shared it with you, right? Didn't I?
did.
We talked about that last week.
I didn't have that on the bingo card. Kardashians' fashion trends today.
Yeah,
I don't think you did either.
I think I was listening to Sir Mix-a-Lot's podcast, and he's an expert in the space. Movies, movies and TV shows that are coming to Max this month. I highlighted a couple of them that you might be interested in. All of the Friday movies, the Friday, next Friday, and Friday after next. So, Bye Felicia to the Max on Max this month.
Love it.
Bye Felicia to the Max. Get it?
I got it.
Alvin and the Chipmunks, Chipwrecked, Moonshiners from Discovery Channel. The 3 seasons of Moonshiners is on. 16 Candles is on Max this month, in case you might be interested. And that's a classic if you've not seen it. It's a good one. John Wick Chapter 5 is in the works with Keanu Reeves. I've never seen any John Wick stuff.
Nor have I.
I know it's seemingly very popular. but have not caught into the Jack Reacher. And Gen Z parents, nearly half of Gen Z parents will name their child after one of these 6 celebrities. Almost 50% of Gen Z parents.
Got to be a Taylor on that list, right?
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, surprise us.
Kim.
Really?
Yep. Sabrina.
I can see that.
Olivia.
I can see that.
So there's your Kardashian, your Carpenter, not necessarily, it probably is Carpenter, and Rodrigo.
All right.
But I would have never guessed. I would have said Taylor over Kim easily.
I would have said Taylor over Sabrina, but it also shows you the arc of Taylor. She's been around, and by the way, our Taylor far predates Taylor Swift, so that hers is a family name. But Taylor Swift is now old enough that she's not she's not the influence as far as trending that way. She's hugely successful, and obviously she drives economies. But Gen Z parents have said there are too many Taylors. Well, I will tell you that if half of Gen Z parents, that means half the girls who are born to Gen Z parents are named Kim, Sabrina, or Olivia. There are going to be too many of those, too.
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo, Justin, and Jacob are the 3 boy names.
Who's Jacob?
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Fa la 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 la.
Who's Jacob?
That's from Twilight.
Is it? I mean,
Are we still doing that?
I guess.
wondering if
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, but that's more of a millennial thing, I would think.
That's a long time ago.
I don't know.
Jacob Elordi from Saltburn.
I don't
From
even
what?
understand any of those
Saltburn.
things.
Don't watch it.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, you don't waste your time. I've not watched it either, but I know enough about it to know it's like, nah, it's not anything I'm...
Okay, well now I'm curious,
Nah,
so I'm
you
gonna go
don't.
look it up.
Well, now I Googled it, and the first, how Google gives you the suggested questions. The first one is, why is it so controversial?
Thank you, Gemini, for the for the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Oh.
Now, okay.
Oh.
See what I said? Was I giving good advice, Samuel?
I don't. Can I go wash my hands?
Yeah. And then I woke up to the news today that I was not completely surprised, but we have lost Val Kilmer. So many good one-liners. I'm your Huckleberry. And in Tombstone, just so many good lines there. Of course, Batman Forever, but he'll forever be Iceman in Top Gun. Twice, Top Gun Forever. I love how they were able to work him into Maverick as the Admiral, who was admirable. Val Kilmer played Jim Morrison. He was born in California, went to Juilliard, had a great acting career. Iceman goes on in at age 65. Got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
A year after my wife Jean and I got married, I came home from work to find her in the bathroom crying. I was worried she was having second thoughts about our relationship. When I asked her what was wrong, she said, "I flushed my wedding ring down the toilet." And back then, she kept her jewelry in a basket right on the back lid. And that day, she'd hit the flusher at the same time she hit the basket. It happened so fast her wedding ring disappeared in a whirlpool before she could reach it. I spent that night taking the toilet apart, and I never found the ring. And I didn't find the second one she lost a few years later. I admit, I had to count to 10 when she told me she had lost that one too. But you know what? All in all, the greater scheme of things, it's okay. The wedding ring is a symbol, a beautiful one and an expensive one, but a symbol nonetheless. The most important thing is the relationship itself. As long as we don't let that go down the toilet, we can survive losing a few things, even if it's frustrating. Rings, cars, houses, the stuff you own can enrich your life, but not if it's a bigger priority than your relationship. Stuff will come and go, whether you want it or not, and none of it will bring you joy if it comes at the price of your marriage. Of all the things in life that can get flushed, don't let your marriage be one of them. Invest in it, protect it, guard it with the same care you'd give a beautiful diamond ring. To help your marriage thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. I ran across a list of things that if the person who named the walkie-talkie named these things, this is what they'd be named. And I want you all to choose. I'm curious to know which of these you all would choose to just make them the new name.
Oh gosh, this kind of is this your list or one you found?
I've had, it's a list I've used before.
Yes,
Okay.
I remember it.
Okay.
So, Bumblebee should be Fuzzy Buzzy. Fuzzy Buzzy would be another name for Bumblebee.
It's not bad.
You might recall I wanted to call a fork a Stabby Grabby.
I do.
Well, it's better than a what is it in Little Mermaid?
It is not better.
Hoozles and what's that?
What do they call it? A flugelhorn or no? I don't even remember.
Hang on.
Flugelhorn is a real thing.
Yeah.
While you all search for that, a stamp could be a licky sticky.
Well, now you don't ever lick it.
That's true.
I don't know that I've ever actually licked a
Dinglehopper.
Dinglehopper. Yep.
Dinglehopper.
Yep.
Defibrillator could be a Hardy Starty.
Now that one's good. That one's good.
Quick, go grab the Hardy Starty off of the wall.
Mhm.
I mean, don't you immediately know what it does?
Mhm.
Pretty self-explanatory. Socks could be feety heaties. They heat your feet.
They do.
Bra could be a breasty nesty. I think I know which one Sam picked.
I know, right?
Yeah. That's.
And your pregnancy test could be a maybe baby. Maybe baby. Maybe baby.
Jury's out.
So there's my
I
list.
still think the Hardy Starty is probably your best one.
Hardy Starty is the one that's most likely to catch on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or the Baby Baby though would be a great brand name.
good.
That'd be a great
Yes.
brand name. Mhm.
I agree with that.
I guess you could change, instead of the AED stickers that they put on those, it would be the AEHS.
I don't know.
It'd have to be if it's the Hardy Starty.
And see, with that maybe baby too, maybe you could spell it like MABEE, right? Because I know you love those.
You could not. That would be, it's forbidden in the United States Code of Federal Regulation. The Masked Singer is on Fox tonight, on ABC, The Connors, and on Survivor. Listen, Survivor, you better not do this week what you did last week.
I know.
Right?
That was something.
Poor Ava. What an episode. What a
Yes.
scene.
It was great.
It's I think everybody's been rooting for her anyway. And the drama involved in that episode and then the moment that it caused and it was just listen, there are things they let cultural and political ideologies, they let them drift in ways that is like, just play the game.
Right.
But
this
that's
was
one,
good.
this is a human story, right? That's a human story that so many families are dealing with in certain ways, and there's such a question mark over it, and I'm trying really hard not to spoil it because we were behind by a few days. We didn't watch it until, I guess, 2 days ago. But that's what was all the buildup was about during the, the first week of the NCAA tournament was about that episode, and it delivered. It kind of snuck up on us, too.
Yes.
It's not like, okay, what's it going to be? It just kind of developed, and I'm like, wow, they did it extremely well. Today's highlight in history, this date in 2005, John Paul II, the Polish Pope, died in his Vatican apartment at age 84. Birthdays today, Emmylou Harris is 78, Christopher Maloney is 64, Pedro Pascal, the Mandalorian, is 50 today. He's also in The Last of Us, which I've not seen. Michael Fassbender is 48. Country musician Zach Bryan is 29 today. Gone but not forgotten, Casanova in 1725, Hans Christian Andersen in 1805, Walter Chrysler in 1875, Buddy Ebsen in 1908, Alec Guinness in 1914, and Marvin Gaye in 1939. Chart toppers for today. Let's go back to 1959. The Fleetwoods were number one with Come Softly to Me.
Well, you know what 13 years ago today was, right?
13 years ago, April 2. Yeah, I heard this earlier today, but now I've forgotten.
Kentucky defeats Kansas to win number 8.
I saw was it Euclid and one of the couches being burned.
It wasn't your couch, was it?
It was not. No. It was not. Let's go to 1968, Aretha. And Since You've Been Gone. That's a good one. Let's go to, I'm trying to hurry because we're up against it. Hall & Oates, Rich Girl, number 1 in 77. You can rely. That's one that you kind of forget about until you hear it and you go, that's a good song. Kiss, Prince and the Revolution in 86. Thinking About You, Trisha Yearwood in 95. One Call Away, Chingy in 04. Harlem Shake, Bauer in 2013. And Till You Can't, Cody Johnson, number 1 3 years ago today. That's kind of, this song is where you get that Prince. Need that on a key. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, well, this is Tom Jones, right? Yeah, it's a Tom Jones song. Probably not written by Tom Jones, but recorded by Tom Jones. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, want to be happy? Stop trying to be perfect. Want to be happy? Stop trying to be perfect. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG, Litchfield, the Twin Lakes Best.